In Donald Trump and JD Vance's descent into this total meltdown, it's like every day we wake up and we're like, what's going to happen next? What are we going to learn about JD Vance? Is there going to be some secret audio recording that's going to emerge? And usually the answer is yes. Breaking news. We now have secret audio recording from JD Vance. And here's how he reported it on MeidasTouch. Vance projects weakness at a private fundraiser. So JD Vance just attended a private fundraiser and told donors that running against Vice President Kamala Harris has been like a political sucker punch to him and Donald Trump. And this leaked audio completely contradicts what the Trump campaign is trying to project with strength and all of the really despicable things they're saying about Vice President Kamala Harris. Let me play for you some of this secret audio recording that was taken at the fundraiser. You could hear JD Vance for yourself. Play this clip.
All of us were hit with a little bit of a political sucker punch. The bad news is that Kamala Harris does not have the same baggage as Joe Biden because whatever we might say, Kamala Harris is a lot younger, and Kamala Harris is obviously not struggling in the same ways that Joe Biden.
And now I want to play for you another audio clip from a fundraiser with JD Vance as well, where he basically says, you could give me a standing ovation, but ultimately, what if I'm an asshole? I mean, so the guy's just a jerk and a weirdo cosplaying WWE fascism. Here, play this clip.
Please, sit down, please. I always, it's very kind of you to give me a standing ovation, but you ought to wait for me to say what I'm going to say, right? You might hear what I have to say and think I'm an asshole. You can't take it. Forget my language.
Yeah, did you hear what he said? Just to be clear, he said, it's very kind of you to give me a standing ovation, but y'all wait. You might hear what I have to say and think that I'm an asshole. No, we just think that you're weird. I know you want to act like you're strong, but no, you are a weirdo, and that's what people see. I mean, by the way, more posts from JD Vance are emerging like this one where JD Vance goes, the cat ladies, man, they must be stopped. And obviously, we've reported previously on JD Vance Googling woman gets violated by a dolphin and enjoys it. And you can see the bold words. This is real. This is fact check true. JD Vance searching these things. And JD Vance goes, maybe the internet was a mistake. He posted this in February. This was recent when JD Vance posted woman gets violated by dolphin and enjoys it. Very, very odd behavior. Also, more breaking news, more photos emerging of JD Vance. Here, JD Vance wears a shirt with a hammer and a sickle. He's wearing communist paraphernalia, and this is one of the prior iterations of JD Vance's identity. This was his college phase. He had multiple phases. He's changed his name several times. Also, during that college phase, JD Vance had told his friends, quote, that he hates the police. And he repeated that over and over again. That's new news that broke as well. Also, we know that JD Vance recently wrote the foreword in the book by the author of Project 2025 called Burning Down Washington to Save America. So as Trump and MAGA are trying to distance themselves from Project 2025, they are Project 2025. That's exactly who they are. As Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign account posted, this was a Washington Post headline, Trump and JD Vance seem ready to offend as many women voters as possible. And Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign goes, weird strategy, but okay. All right, let me show you this as well. This is from Newsmax right here. And here on Newsmax, they are going over the fact that JD Vance and Trump are being called weird by Democrats and others in the pro-democracy movement. Here, play this clip.
Using that term weird, by the way, we continue to point that out. Kamala HQ, that's her campaign on X, just put out 3 minutes ago a quote from JD Vance of him saying, "I certainly would like abortion to be illegal nationally," unquote, from JD Vance. They quoted him on that, the Harris campaign, and calling it, "This is weird behavior." Weird, weird, weird. Everything about, again, Vance is weird. Does Vance actually have a problem? And then how about the campaigning using that term weird for Republicans?
Well, all of that's going on. RNC co-chair Lara Trump compares Vice President Kamala Harris to a designer handbag and then describes her as a trash bag. Here, play this clip.
John, you're exactly right, because look, I think we've very clearly seen the mainstream media and the folks out there are not going to do it for us. In fact, they're trying to rewrite history. It's been incredible to see the way they have tried to prop up Kamala Harris and really sell her as some sort of this amazing political figure to the American people. It reminds me of, there was this bag that a very famous designer designed. This was several years ago, and it literally was a trash bag, but they sold this thing for like $2,000, thinking that people would actually buy it. It's a similar situation with Kamala Harris.
As Brooke Binkowski writes, so the people who compare human beings to handbags are mad at being called weird. LMAO. Jesse Waters, referring to some of the information that JD Vance denies. Here's what Jesse Waters had to say on Fox. Here, play this clip.
So how do they distract us from talking about her record? They're accusing JD Vance of having sex with a couch. Not on a couch, with a couch. It's a weird thing to do. And now they're calling him weird.
More on what Jesse Waters had to say on Fox. Play this clip.
And after Russia, COVID, and the Biden cover-up, America's seasoned vets by now. We don't buy the hoaxes and believe the hype anymore. Our eyes are wide open. And if you're going to accuse someone of having sex with a couch, you better have video.
Well, all of this is going on as well. Here's the thing. So Laura Ingram is trying to basically feed Donald Trump the words to say here, and Donald Trump is just unable to. Like Fox is saying, look, you're getting destroyed right now. Shady Vance is crushing you. All of the statements that he's made about women are horrific, and you're going to lose. Can you apologize to the viewers or just say that JD Vance made a mistake? And Trump's incapable of it. So watch this. When Laura Ingram says, what can you say to viewers to reassure them about JD Vance? Here's Trump's response. Play the clip.
I'm going to do rallies.
A lot of predictable backbiting and media pig piles on your vice presidential choice, JD Vance. They're stereotyping him as some, out of control, knee-jerk, conservative, et cetera, et cetera. But some of it's coming from Republicans who I think want to go back to the days of open borders and perpetual war. How do you expect to use him in this campaign? And what can you say to our viewers tonight to reassure them that this was an excellent pick?
Well, first of all, he's got tremendous support. And he really does among a certain group of people that like families. I mean, he made a statement having to do with families. That doesn't mean that people that aren't a member of a big and beautiful family with 400 children around and everything else, it doesn't mean that a person he's not against anything, but he loves family. It's very important to him. He grew up in a very interesting family situation, and he feels family is good. And I don't think there's anything wrong in saying that. Now,
and as our friend Simon Rosenberg says, look, the Republican nominee for president is batshit crazy. Listen to this craziness. So Laura Ingram asks Donald Trump about his comments telling Christian backers they won't have to vote again in 4 years. Trump responds by saying Jews should have their heads examined if they vote for Democrats. Ingram then presses him, and Trump doesn't know how to respond. Let me show you what Laura Ingram says, and Donald Trump says, here, watch this. Play the clip.
They're also attacking you for other ridiculous reasons. They're saying that you said to a crowd of Christians that they won't have to vote in the future.
Yeah, let me say what did I mean by that? I had a tremendous crowd speaking to Christians. I mean, this was a crowd that liked me a lot. I think I'm at 97% or something. And they're treated very badly by this administration, okay? Catholics are treated unbelievably. They're like persecuted. And if I might say, before I go into the other, Jewish people, if you're Jewish and you vote for Biden or the Democrats or Kamala or whoever's going to run, I guess it's going to be her. But if you voted for her or the Democrats, you should have your head examined, because nobody's ever been treated so badly by this. This administration is destroying Israel, et cetera, et cetera. So with respect to like a statement like I made, that statement is very simple. I said, vote for me. You're not going to have to do it ever again. It's true, because we have to get the vote out. Christians are not known as a big voting group. They don't vote. And I'm explaining that to them. You never vote. This time, vote. I'll straighten out the country. You won't have to vote anymore. I won't need your vote. You can go back to
you meant you don't have to vote for you because you have 4 years in office.
Look. Christians are known. You know who else doesn't vote? Gun owners don't vote.
But just to be clear, what you're saying, though, you're not saying it's being interpreted as you are not surprised to hear by the left as well. They're never going to have another election. He's saying there's not. So
first time I've even heard.
Can you even just respond to that?
I said Christians. I started off by saying, just so you understand, you never vote. Christians do not vote well. They vote in very small percentages. Why? I don't know. Maybe they're disappointed in things that are happening. But for a long time, I say, you don't vote. I'm saying, go out. You must vote. November 5th is going to be the most important election in the history of our country. Whether you vote early or not, we should have, by the way, one-day voting. We should have voter ID. We should have proof of citizenship. And we should have paper ballots, okay? That's what we should have. But we don't have that. But I said to the Christians in the room, thousands of them, I said, typically, Christians do not vote. Why it is, I don't know. You're rebellious. Something's going on. Don't worry about the future. You have to vote on November 5th. After that, you don't have to worry about voting anymore. I don't care, because we're going to fix it. The country will be fixed, and we won't even need your vote anymore, because frankly, we will have such love. If you don't want to vote anymore, that's okay. And I think everybody understood it. I didn't know there was any.
Yeah, well, I mean, because it.
And at the same time, Donald Trump's top advisor, Jason Miller, says that he is okay with states monitoring the pregnancies of women. Play this clip.
But he wouldn't support monitoring pregnancies even if a state decided to do that.
Well, he's made it very clear that he's not going to go and weigh in and try to push various states and how they want to go and set up their particular rules and restrictions. That's going to be up to the states.
And as a video refresher after showing you those clips, here is Democratic Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota. Here's what he had to say about these MAGA Republicans. Play this clip.
Well, look, you're seeing that. And this observation of weird came from people I know, my friends, my relatives, Republicans, some of them, that this is just awkward. They're awkward. And it stems from who's asking for this crazy stuff? Who's asking to raise the price of insulin? Who's asking to get rid of birth control? They do these focus groups or whatever. Who's sitting in a bar in Racine, Wisconsin saying, what we really need? We need to ban Animal Farm. Nobody is. They're talking about real things. So when these guys get in situations in front of real people and trying to pretend like they know what people are going through, they've got nothing to offer. And no one can picture them in their own lives. I brought this thing up that Donald Trump tries to mock Vice President Harris for laughing. And I made the point, you never see this guy laugh. You never see him do these normal things. Imagine when I go home at night, I pick up the Frisbee and throw it, and my dog catches it, he comes over, he gets the belly rub for being a good boy. Picture these guys doing that kind of stuff. They just can't. And what it allows us to do is, we hear where you're coming from. And I made the pitch that I watched that rally in St. Cloud, Minnesota, where he lied about the election and lied about everything. Mm-hmm. But the thing that I thought was so joyful is Kamala Harris is going to be there to provide reproductive health care to those women who were standing behind him.
And here is Democratic Congress member Jake Auchincloss. Play this clip.
Now, Neil, with respect, this isn't a couple of mischosen words by JD Vance. This is a theme. He's a MAGA shapeshifter. He doesn't appear to have any real political beliefs except for this deep-seated denigration of women. He has voted against and stood against exceptions for rape and incest to abortion. He's voted against safe and legal in vitro fertilization. He's insulted women trying to start a family. And then he just seems to get mean when pushed on it. I mean, how hard would it have been to say to Jennifer Aniston, I empathize with your journey towards starting a family, and here in the United States, we want to make it easier for women to have kids with a child tax credit and with subsidized childcare. But no, he calls her disgusting. This is going to be an ongoing theme because it fits into a pattern that Republicans have with disrespect for women. I mean, look at the top of the ticket. Donald Trump bragged about sexual assault and was then found civilly liable for sexual assault.
So tell me what you think with all of this data, all of this information getting out there. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.